to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to live radio. You never know when you may have some technical difficulties, but it looks like we've got them under control. Not we, the engineers do a good job. I just sit here and wait for them. But we have it under control. We will bring you our broadcast in its entirety today. I guess we'll leave part of it on the broadband, part of it over the connections that we have, the pod connections as well. So you'll get the whole thing. If you don't get the whole thing, check us out, YouTube.com/Ron Siegel 1, YouTube.com/Ron Siegel 1. That'll give you the entire broadcast, but we're going to get going for you. And I will just give you a brief opening, being that you know who I am. Well, maybe you don't know who I am.
We do.
This is the show with no real boundaries. We get in trouble all the time. We discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events, and most of all, thank you for joining us. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Jay Kaplan is in the house. Welcome, Mr. Kaplan.
Oh, thank you very much.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call, that number comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, even though we are running late today, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio, especially if we can get the computers working as we like them to. National Cut Your Energy Costs Day. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Save the Eagles Day. I like that one. We'll stick with that one. I guess the wind turbines might be turned off today, so we'll go with that. Not a problem there. Jay, for you and I, though, we've got this one made, buddy. And I don't know about you, I know that I have beaten anorexia.
Yes.
So we've got, start the day, National Oysters Rockefeller Day.
Okay.
Can't go wrong there.
No, that's big time.
And we'll follow it up with, I don't know, I'm more into the milk, but it's Bittersweet Chocolate Day.
Yeah, I've always been more milk chocolate until just lately. Some of these that have different percentages of cocoa,
Right.
Some of them are turning out I actually like a lot. My wife is a dark chocolate person, but... Well,
here's my issue, and I don't know whether it's the chicken and the egg syndrome.
Well, I can answer that question.
Okay. So, I like to have a nice glass of wine whenever it's not coffee hour. And then I add into that a little bit of dark chocolate. And I don't know whether I like the dark chocolate because I've had a lot of wine, or if I like the wine more because I've got the dark chocolate.
I think they can both. They can coexist.
Coexist. Okay, we got that one made. So we'll celebrate anyway. Jay and I both having beaten anorexia and both being experts in food consumption.
No kidding. Yeah.
Just saying right there. Looking at the markets for you this morning, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 16.94. Not a whole lot going on there. It's been a bit of a rocky ride this morning. The Dow was down at one point, about 100 and some points. It was up about 70 points, and now we're, you call it 20 points on a 23,900 Dow. It's pretty much flatlined right there. Oil off 6 cents a barrel, no big deal on that one. The U.S. 10-year Treasury down just a slight bit, not a whole lot to say about that as well. So we will continue moving on. The news of the day, obviously, the government is still shut down. The non-essential workers, again, you know my opinion. I've shared with you the idea of non-essential workers. I don't understand non-essentials, but that's just the way they term it in government. Non-essential workers are still not working. I don't know if they were working before, but they're not working now. The president on his way to McAllen, Texas. If you've ever been to McAllen, Texas, it's a beautiful city to leave. But just saying there, talking about the humanitarian and security crisis at the southern border. So we're going to watch, I'm sure that, you know, you've got this president that loves, he loves nothing more than to see himself on TV. He must TiVo this or something, because you just can't escape him being on TV. When he goes to get on the plane, he's on TV. When he gets off the plane, he's on TV. When he's in the White House, he's on TV. And if he's not on TV, he's on Twitter. One or the other. Unbelievable. But you know something? At least we see him doing something. We do have the idea of Nancy and Chuck. Yeah, they're fascinating to watch them. At least they can regurgitate the same speech over and over and over and over again. But that, you know, that's just them. I find it fascinating. If you watched the president's speech the other night, the fascinating part is the president, Jay, I think you'll agree with this one. The president's got very, very low approval ratings.
Yeah.
Probably a fair assessment, right?
You're always fair.
Now, the irony here is the Democrats found two people that are equally as low. I wonder if they could find somebody in the party that, you know, has a little, you know, what they can even bring on, what's your name, Cortez, AOC is in the moniker they're using, right? At least she's alive. The other two, now you saw in the headlines for the broadcast, I must admit, Jay, I did not come up with that line for the broadcast headline on my own. I did borrow that.
Kind of brilliant. I was giving you all of the credit.
I stole it from Greg Gutfeld. He said that Nancy and Chuck looked like they were in a reverse mortgage commercial. You know something, Jay? They found, I think, two people that are older than you to do that speech.
And still alive?
Hard to imagine that, right?
It is.
I mean, they found two people to do the rebuttal. Actually, well, is the president older than you, or is he just a little bit younger?
About the same.
Same.
I like to think of him as older.
Okay. So we got a lot of fun right there. We did hear that Rod Rosenstein is going to leave the Department of Justice, or as some people might refer to it as the Department of Injustice. He says he's going to do that once the new nominee, Bill Barr, is confirmed by the Senate. Shouldn't have a big issue other than the fact of politics as they are today, that I mean, Mr. Barr already was an attorney general for the United States at one point in time, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. More fascinating information coming through on the White House. It's just, I love watching some of the briefings that we get each morning, talking about what's going on in the government. It's just kind of fascinating to me. If you are a student of what's going on in Washington, maybe you don't want to even be watching what's going on in Washington. A lot of people don't want to watch what's going on in Washington. But, you know, hey, that's kind of what I do here on the broadcast. We chat about it. Every once in a while we have something that even Jay agrees with. Jay and I are not on the political same side. But, hey, we still like each other. We have fun together.
Yeah, we definitely sit on opposite sides of the table. Otherwise,
it balances the table that way, right? I knew where you were going with that. I think we've been doing this too long together, Jay. Now, Starbucks. Did you see the latest coming out of Starbucks?
I have not.
You gotta love this. Only at Starbucks would they talk about this one. Now, when I first heard this, I was kind of cringing. But they're gonna put needle receptacles in the bathrooms at Starbucks.
Well, there's a lot of those all over the place, and a lot of it's for diabetics too. But I know that because I've got, my broker is type 1.
Okay.
And he's always got needles to...
But I bet he's got a place to put them. He's not leaving them behind, just throwing them in a trash can.
No, they're in the passenger side of my car on the floor.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm thinking I'm not going to get in the front seat of Jay's car. But they're going to put these sharp boxes in there. I don't know if they're going to be... They say that it's to protect the Starbucks workers, is what the reason that they're giving is that and I can understand that when they go to clean the trash, somebody just throws...
see a lot of those in public restrooms.
Right. Now, because of the history of Starbucks, I'm just curious, just going to throw it out there. I wonder if they're going to put some... require their people to have Narcan out there for them as well. It's just my thought right there. Every once in a while... Even Jay says that I'm warped. Actually, he says that more than just once in a while. But Starbucks, they're in the news. We got that broadcaster, that story for you.
I thought when you said needles, they were going to start giving intravenous coffee.
Sometimes we need that.
Well, yeah.
Now, here's another one. I think this is another fascinating story, especially as the president talks about the possibility of declaring a national emergency, a state of emergency at the border, so that he can build the barrier and give the Border Patrol the $5.7 billion that they need. You ready for this one? I don't get this at all. Again, it's just maybe they need some more non-essential workers in the Department of Defense. They relinquished $27 billion to the U.S. Treasury since 2013. It was money that they simply couldn't spend quick enough. Now, we've got a $21 trillion deficit, and they've got $27 billion that they couldn't spend quick enough from 2013 through the present.
You have that problem too?
My wife can spend as much as we can possibly get there. And this is the greatest story I've heard this morning. Now, I am, again, not a fan. A lot of the celebrities, I'm not a fan of them. But Cher is out there in the news today. Cher is urging House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Wednesday to let President Trump, and I can't use the whole word, have his F money. These are the words from Cher, and end the government shutdown. The pop singer, no fan of the president, nevertheless tweeted that Trump was, quote, playing it right, unquote, and that Pelosi was, quote, playing right into his hands, unquote, contending that Trump would make Democrats look like obstructionists, swamp scum. Great vocabulary. I wonder if she can make that into a song somewhere. I don't know. Maybe she's going to sing I Got You, Babe to that one. It's just a question that I put out there, but after listening to the commentary of the event yesterday, it was pretty fascinating. Chuck out there with the same old, tired story. And the president, to me, I know that some are not going to agree with this. Smart businessman. He walks in, says, can we get a deal here? She says no. He leaves. We don't need to drag this out any longer, do we? It's just a simple issue. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Jay Kaplan will be educating. Who put that in the script? Jay's going to educate us on the reverse mortgage. I guess Nancy and Chuck did not do a good job of that the other night. The best time to list your house. We've got the Mortgage Minute, what's happening there, and ways you can prepare for a financially healthy new year. All that and more. You can reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs for you. You just need to give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll get you on the Get Mortgage Ready program. We've got about 187 families right now on the Get Mortgage Ready program, learning how to get themselves in a proper financial situation for a new home. In the minute, Dow Jones up 44.85 right now, oil down 7 cents as we speak. Fannie Mae 30-year bond, it is flat. The 10-year Treasury, basically flat. It's 1 basis point down. All that is the information readily available to you if you want to look for it right there on the super secret website, google.com. But what do you listen to us for? Basically for the why of it. Pretty quiet day in the news right now, or today. Yesterday, the Fed minutes from the December 18th and 19th Fed meeting were released. Not too much that was new there that we hadn't already heard. The minutes reiterated the Fed's ability to be patient, quote unquote, especially since inflation is tame. The minutes also showed that the vote to hike was not unanimous, and in fact, some members voted to not hike. Stocks viewed this as dovish news and reacted favorably. Later today, in fact, probably in the next 7 or 8 minutes, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell will be speaking in Washington, D.C. We're going to keep an eye on that, see if there's any money news that comes up from that. Stocks, we'll see what happens there. Again, I just shared with you, they're up a little bit in the economic news. The initial jobless claims measures individuals filing for unemployment benefits for the first time showed that there were 216,000 claims last week, because this figure tracks the amount of people essentially getting laid off. The lower the figure, the stronger the report. Unlike most other economic reports, today's figure was 17,000 lower or better than the previous report last week, which was revised slightly higher from 231,000 to 233,000. Today's report also beat expectations, and I did look this morning just for you. Freddie Mac came out with their numbers, the mortgage rates for that perfect mortgage, 4.45% on a 30-year fixed rate loan. You got to pay a half to get it. Last year, same week, 3.99 was the number. So still up a little bit from last year, up about a half a point from last year, but still pretty cheap. I mean, again, going back historically, looking at when Jay started in this business, you know, there was, and they did the mortgages on stones then, right, Jay?
Yeah, you know.
Well, I want to ask you, Jay, I got this.
Dinosaur wouldn't step on you, you know.
So I want to throw this one out there just for nostalgia, because I know you've been in this business for at least 2 or 3 days. How many Fed chairmen have you seen? Probably a lot of
Probably,
them.
yeah.
You might even go back to the Volcker days.
Volcker was not the first. Not at all. That was,
So it goes back a day or two. What were the interest rates when you got into the mortgage business?
Probably first trust deeds 16, 17, second trust deeds 19.
Okay, so let's say 16 for fun. And today I hear people saying, well, at 4.5 were a little high. At 5 were. Can you do any better than that? 5
and business was good then. I was
Crazy.
selling real estate the first couple of years I was in the related business. But people need homes, so they take money from one place to put it there.
So regardless, either way, they you got to have a place to live.
And then the tax write-off was also higher. So
there you go. Okay.
You know.
So you get a better. It's all relative.
It still made sense compared with renting.
And that's the whole thing, Jay. I'm glad you put it that way, because it makes sense compared to renting, because otherwise you're paying somebody's mortgage either way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm either paying my mortgage or I'm paying my landlord's mortgage. Who do I want to pay?
Yeah.
Right? Simple stuff. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. But let's talk about the program of the day. And no, we're not going to bring in Nancy and Chuck to help us with this product, although the president may not agree with me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a bit upset that we aren't going to bring in Nancy and Chuck.
You're fired.
Sorry, I didn't mean it. Mr. President. We'll bring in Jay Kaplan, okay?
Thank you very much. That's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah. We agree.
See that? He's happy to hear you here, Jay.
Yeah.
Reverse mortgages. What's new? I mean, it's 2019.
There's a lot of newness.
Lot of newness.
A lot of newness.
Hope you didn't say nudist, because that would scare a lot of people around here.
Nor did I say Kevin. But anyway, we are a couple of points that you had talked about that I'd like to get back to. But as far as rates, that was one of the things you were talking about,
right.
Rates going up. Reverse mortgage rates have actually kind of been going down.
Okay.
Now, when I say a rate on a reverse mortgage, it means a lot more than just what you think of as, quote, a rate. Yes, it has to do with how much you can qualify for, and it's less what kind of income you're making or not making, and it's more in how much benefit you get. So when you look at benefit from a reverse mortgage, that is actually an amount. I see it as an amount. It doesn't necessarily mean an amount of money going to you, but it's an amount of cash that must go towards paying off your current loan or loans.
Okay.
And then what you may or may not want to go in your pocket, and the remainder of the benefit becomes a line of credit that will forever grow, not be taken away. You've heard me say those things. The lower the interest rate, the higher the overall benefit.
Okay.
I don't want to get into why and how all that works, but that's part of it. So today, probably compared to someone who is this time in November, this a couple months later, you could probably qualify for a benefit of about $10,000 higher than you could in November.
So I'm going to throw something out at you, Jay. Then maybe, is there a market, is there a benefit for somebody who might want to refinance a reverse mortgage?
Well, if it makes sense, yes.
So what would be the foundation of it making sense?
Remember, the line of credit isn't adjustable. Not at 16 or anything, but it's an adjustable.
Okay.
Very good rates. So you don't really want to go and refinance something to get that lower rate because of what you are either spending or accruing any way you want to look at it. You don't want to do that. But if you can get more cash benefit, whether that's if you need it for your pocket or just to get a larger line of credit. I've done them, refinances, where people will do it not because they want any money at all. They're, going along just fine.
If they don't want money, they can call me and I'll take whatever they don't want.
All right, you got it. But some people may have a line of credit with $60,000, $20,000. Now we can increase that by another $40,000 or $100,000.
Okay.
Even though they're not taking it. The line of credit, that base amount in that line of credit, is always there. It will always grow, always.
Okay.
It will never stay the same. And regardless of what the property value is, you can always have that. And that line of credit doesn't grow by big much of the value of the property either.
Who's the right person to call you? What would be the enticement, or why would I want to call you to evaluate my current reverse mortgage?
Well, because you want to find out the best choices that you have.
So if I
regardless of
if I got this last year, does that make sense, or does it have to be wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
Yeah, probably more like that.
Okay.
Now, why you'd call me because I'm such a good-looking skinny guy some of this is on video.
Anybody watching on RonSiegelRadio.tv might question that, Jay.
We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about, you should call me just to learn. I'm not talking about sales or selling, just learning.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Jay, that's what I really appreciate about you coming in, is because we've got that same thought process. It isn't about selling somebody the program, selling somebody the product. You and I both believe in the product. We've both seen it from many, many standpoints. I've seen it now from the helping families, including my own, get a reverse mortgage. I've seen it from the standpoint of the lifetime of that, even to the point of having to pay a large lump sum of money to qualify.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen it from the standpoint of liquidation. I'm going to talk to you more about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. More with Jay Kaplan when we come back. The best time to list your house. When will that be? And ways you can prepare for a financially healthy new year. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. And if you're not ready for that dream home yet, get on the Get Mortgage Ready program. I just concluded the deal yesterday where we're going to have one of the best programs available for budgeting. You'll be able to put your own personal information right into the program. It'll pull data right from your bank for you. It'll pull bank data from your credit cards for you, from your brokerage accounts, 401ks, IRAs. All of these will be pulled right into one central portal that you control, password protected, safe and secure. So you can start building up that nest egg to buy your own home, all at the same time that you're getting information from our friends at Blue Water Credit to help you increase your credit score so you get the best possible rates. Figure this, saving money and higher credit. What else could you ask for? That's all going to be part of the real-time real estate program in the area trusted professionals. The best time to list your house? We may have heard that the housing market is softening. There is no doubt that buyer traffic has decreased. It does over the holidays most of the time. There are fewer purchasers in the market than there were last month and at this time last year. What you may not have heard, however, is that there is still a severe shortage of listing inventory in many regions of the country. In a recent interview discussing the housing market, First American's chief economist Mark Fleming put it simply, and I quote, "The biggest challenge is really the availability of supply," unquote. When we look at available inventory numbers released by the National Association of Realtors, we see that the actual number of homes for sale has decreased in each of the last 5 months. Put a chart out there on the social media channels for you this morning to show that the best time to sell is when there is less competition. That guarantees you a better price and fewer hassles in the transaction. The bottom line, if you're thinking of selling your house this year, the best time to put it on the market might be right now. Let's chat about it. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. We will introduce you to the folks that can help with that process. That is the real-time real estate segment. Again, Get Mortgage Ready. We're out there, I think about 160, 170 families right now that are in the program. Are you? Are you ready? Continue our conversation this morning. Jay Kaplan is in the house. He has the reverse mortgage guru. He was there when they first started mortgages.
Yeah.
He was actually there. President Lincoln actually commissioned him to start the program.
Yes, yes.
Just harassing you a little bit, Jay.
No, actually, a little off subject, where I was first selling real estate, they were talking about when people would bring in that office in Santa Ana, cattle for down payment.
Bring cattle for
That's
down
how
payment?
old.
Holy cow.
That's not to be confused.
I guess I shouldn't say holy cow then.
Not
right?
to be chattel. Right.
That's
impressive. I'm old.
You know, I was going to ask you is when you got started in real estate, roughly how long was the real estate contract? How many pages and the mortgage contract? The real estate contract was one page, and now it's 15 plus all the disclosures and everything else. What about the mortgage note?
Well, the application and disclosures was probably 10 pages, 10 to 12 pages.
And I think the last one I saw was about 137.
Correct.
Holy cow. Just amazing, Jay.
But back then, we didn't need one copy for the city, one for the county, one for the state, one for the federal government, one for the lender, and then one for whatever, the Milky Way, or, Same things over and over and over.
Well, so now we have, not only do we have non-essential workers in the government, we have non-essential paperwork.
Right, right.
Fascinating. Okay, so let's talk about some new programs this year.
But, just to finish up about who should call me.
I know, you're trying to get everybody to call you.
Yeah, because...
He feels lonely if he doesn't get phone calls.
No, because I think everybody should understand what this is.
Right.
And if you're an older person, great. If you're a kid, younger person, that's fine too. In fact, they did because
this program,
you
I
probably
say,
have parents, and hopefully it's still
I say
alive.
the program is for seniors.
Yeah.
Or those who want to become a senior, or those who love a senior.
Yeah.
It's only those three people.
Yeah, and it's not for poor people. Although you can, if you're poor, call anyway.
Well, we don't even want to go there, Jay, because we were talking about that on Monday. You and I spoke about that off air.
Yeah.
That our fastest growing segment of the homeless population is senior citizens.
Yes, which is
a shame.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is. I mean, it's
because
there's
what
alternatives.
I said about a lot of people can find jobs whether they want that job or not, and there's mental problems. But when you're retired, you're not going to go get a job very easily, and you're not going to work it very easily. So
it's a little bit more of a challenge.
Again, buying a home when you're younger, I think, is the best way to guarantee against those kind of problems.
Absolutely. So you're saying that there's some new things that we need to know about in the reverse mortgage world?
There are some new things. There are new programs coming out. Man, it seems like almost every few months. To start with, we used to have the regular HECM, the regular reverse mortgages.
Right, the FHA reverse.
And then for larger properties, we used to have what was called jumbos.
Right.
Not
to be confused with you and me. I know where you're going with that one, Jay.
But they don't call them jumbos.
It is what it is.
No kidding. They don't call them jumbos anymore because in the olden days, not as old as we talked about, if you couldn't qualify, your property was worth too much, you couldn't qualify for a regular HECM, then you could qualify.
Ooh, interesting there.
Then you could qualify for one of these jumbos.
Okay.
They've done away with that. If you have
There's no more jumbo.
Yeah, those programs are there, but they're available for everyone.
Okay.
So now, whether your property is worth $50,000 or whether it's worth $6 million, there's a reverse mortgage for you.
Wow.
Or to change your life. So they are all kinds of different parameters on those, which we can discuss. There's even, which I thought I would never see, there is a new second trust deed that's a reverse mortgage. And you ask, and you did ask, why would anybody want that?
Right.
Because I asked that. And there are some people that have a fairly large first trust deed. Maybe it's a 2%, 3%, something like that.
Sure.
Even at 3%, I think just getting rid of it and going 100% to a reverse is still better because you get now you have a choice about your entire payment. But let's say you want to keep your 2% first trust deed, but you're looking for some cash. In this case, you'd want to be looking for some cash for a project.
Okay.
Or for health care, or for investment, or something like that. Then you could do this reverse second trust deed, get X amount of cash, and just like any other reverse mortgage, whether you make a payment or not is up to you.
Interesting. Okay, so there's the whole gamut now. Now it's almost like
Yeah.
forward mortgage or reverse mortgage. You can do any size, anything, and it's just a matter of what's right for you.
Well, the largest growing segment of people in this country used to be the 85-year-olds. Now it's the 100.
The centurions.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you're 100 years old, you can still get a reverse mortgage.
Yes. And, you talked about credit scores. Credit scores are important overall, but they don't matter for reverse mortgages.
If you're 100 years old, you're not really worried about your credit score.
Right.
That's pretty. You're just worried about lunch. Am I going to make it that far?
The law says, though, that you have to pay back that reverse mortgage at least to HECM, when you reach 150.
Okay, so we still got 50 years to wait.
Yeah, and by then Congress might change it. They might get together even before that 50 years, and we can actually, maybe we'll push that out a little bit.
Interesting. So we got to talk about that a little bit, though, Jay, because is it still the concept that, can I have my second home? Can I get a reverse mortgage on my second home?
No, but you can if you can buy a second home with
the proceeds of the first mortgage on my primary.
Right. If you have a second home already and you have the ability to take enough cash out of your reverse mortgage on your first, you can take that and pay off the other mortgage. So now you have two properties, no payments on either one. One is free and clear. The other one is probably still gaining equity. And if and when you pass on at 150, your kids can just sell one property, pay off the other, and still have cash left over from the one and be in great shape.
So the beauty there is it's still, the benefit is still in to call Jay and have a consultation.
Right.
That's it, and that's the whole thing. Is again, Jay's not trying to sell you anything. He sells a lot of reverse mortgage, helps a lot of people with reverse mortgages, I should say. His whole focus is, hey, let's see if we can help more people, educate more people to get into the program, do what's beneficial, and do what's right for your family. I shared again. It drives me nuts when I see seniors suffering, and in certain communities where the seniors can't even get a reverse mortgage because of the properties that they're in. Just drives me crazy that they don't make that one simple phone call. Call me at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Jay Kaplan. He can help you, he can educate you, and see what makes sense for you and your family. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, ways you can prepare for a financially healthy new year. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter at Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGELLendingTeam.com. RonSiegelLendingTeam.com or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by AskAboutReverseMortgages.com. Are you 62 years of age or older? Do you have some equity in your property? That's the idea. Let's talk about that reverse mortgage, see if it makes sense for you and your family. Maybe it makes sense in your estate planning. Maybe it makes sense in your financial plans, all of those areas. But let's talk about a few ways you can prepare for a financially healthy new year. The new year is a time to reflect on the good, the bad, and the just okay financial decisions you've made in the past. Fortunately, it's also a time to think about your future. Think of 2019 as an opportunity to do better. Consider these resolutions for a strong, healthy financial year. Number one, prioritize your debt. Again, I'll be happy to give you our free tool, budgeting tool, and keep a conglomeration of all of your finances. So prioritize your debt. Take stock of what you owe and how much you're paying in interest. Start with the debt that carries the highest interest. If you're looking for just reducing debt, if you're looking to increase your credit scores, there might be better strategies that we can talk about. Close accounts you don't need or use. Now remember, older credit cards need to stay open to enhance your credit score. But if you've got an account that you can close, it's a new one and you're paying too much for it, that might be one. Too high of fees, subscriptions, whatnot. Take a look at that. Take stock of your financial standing. Have a good credit score is more important than you think. Let's look at the credit score. Let's look at ways that we can solve that one for you as well. We can enhance it. Again, most people are paying their credit cards the wrong way. So we can talk to you about how the right way is to pay a credit card. And I know you're going to say it's with a check, Ron, but there might be some better ways or timing of that. Create a reasonable budget and do your best to stick to it. Again, we've got the tool to help with that. And stop overpaying for monthly services. This is a biggie. Whether it's subscriptions, high wireless and cable bills, Americans overpay by about, are you ready for this one? Found this number and I found it staggering. $50 billion per year. $50 billion with a B, dollars per year. Consumers often miss the hidden fees and charges tacked onto their bills by corporate giants. I say call on a regular basis. Just check in with your cable company, with your insurance agents, with your cell phone carrier, with your internet carrier, every one of them. And all you have to do is say, are there any better benefits or better programs that you have to offer? And do some price checking, please. Don't take their word for it. They're salespeople, or, as Jay and I were talking about earlier, they're telemarketers who just have a simple script. There's one of the services that when you tell them that I want to cancel my service, the script says, well, would you be willing to keep it if I cut the price in half? Right? I mean, just think about that. That's the script. And people don't just pick up the phone and make those phone calls, and there are $50 billion being left behind. Even Jay and I could go out for lunch for that kind of money.
Well, take a look at us, maybe.
Maybe not, Jay. I don't know. We'll figure. We could try.
Also ask for senior plans.
Yeah.
I just was given a senior plan with T-Mobile that I've been with for, I don't know, since day one of them.
I mean, they didn't realize that you were a senior?
They didn't take a look at me. Once they took a look at me...
Well, yeah, but there might have been something else that they did when they took a look at you, Jay. I don't know. That's saying.
Normal. That's pretty normal.
That's you and me, buddy. That's you and me. Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. Reverse mortgages. We've talked about the second mortgage. We've talked about the second mortgage, second reverse, the jumbo reverse.
Yeah.
I think that they should title that the J-Ron reverse.
Okay, because of...
Jumbo.
Because they are, and it has to do with size.
Exactly.
We are sizeable.
You know, I had a doctor that, when I had my bariatric bypass surgery, he used to refer to us as people of size.
Nice.
And it was a nice way of saying you fatty. Yeah. But, that was me. I just can't say enough. But that was...
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Little fun.
I am really very, very popular at the beach. I create a lot of shade, and I'm pretty buoyant.
I don't know. I don't even know where to go with that one, Jay. Okay, so the reverse mortgage. We've talked about, and we even talked this morning about the concept of a potential. Call Jay if you want to get information on refinancing it and see if it makes sense for you.
Yeah, to find out if it really makes sense, and they're.
And again,
it can, but it doesn't always. So
And believe me, if you have a reverse mortgage already, and you're one of those individuals that gets the letter in the mail, my mom got this all the time. We can help save money by just refinancing your reverse mortgage. Yet they did not know the program she had. Did not make any sense to me. Right. And I hate those dumb letters that come out like that. So if you get one of them, call Jay.
Yeah, because they just take everyone who's got a reverse mortgage, regardless of any other parameters.
Right,
and it out. It does seem to work more than other things, other scenarios, as far as refinancing from one to another is one reverse to another is taking the if you bought your property a while ago before the value has really gone up,
right,
and you've had it a while, going from you don't even need to have it that long, but to going from one of those quote regular Heckam type loans to a new jumbo if there's a need for more cash or that kind of thing.
What about if I did a reverse purchase, and I did it, some time ago, maybe even like in 2009, 2010, right, when the prices were very low.
Yeah.
And now I've got some equity in my property, and I want to go with a line of credit reverse.
Yeah.
Is that a scenario that makes sense?
Excellent scenario.
Okay, so if you've got a fixed rate and you've got some equity that's built up.
Yeah. Now, I usually do recommend people go with a line of credit even on a purchase, but not all that doesn't always happen.
Okay, so we're gonna throw those out there. It's all about the education, right? It's not Jay's. I love Jay for the fact that he's been more than willing to tell you, hey, stay where you are. You've got the right program.
Yeah.
Right. That happens so many times, and the only people if I find people that don't follow that concept, well, they don't come back on as often as Jay has. So he's a great resource for you. What else do we need to know? The estate planning.
Oh yeah.
Can we use it?
It's a tool.
Okay.
And I'd love to talk with your estate planner if you have one, and if you don't have one, call.
Right, and we'll 800-306-1990. We'll put you in touch with one.
There you
right.
go.
Again, it's not about. I love to say this as a radio, and I know you're doing your own show now, Jay, as well. One of the beauties of doing a radio program is we get to talk to a lot of different people, so we don't have to be too smart. Right, we just have to know the phone number of smart people.
Don't have to be?
We get to know the phone number of smart people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that that's kind of the way we kind of roll?
Your homeowner's board of directors. You didn't say that today.
Yeah, household board of directors.
I use that, and I give you credit for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We don't want, that's what we do really well in radio is we're really good at repurposing.
Yes. I wish we could repurpose some food before we eat it. But
I don't even want to go there, Jay. That could be a little interesting there, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any words of wisdom before we check out today?
Of course. Always listen to Ron Siegel.
Okay, we appreciate that one.
And get as much information, because you talked about a healthy new year.
Right.
And that's health, both physical and, of course, emotional, which is really part of physical, and financial. And the best way to make that happen is to get the most amount of education so you can have the most choices, have the choices in front of you that makes a better future for you.
Makes a lot of sense to me. And the other part that makes a lot of sense to me is setting that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's done an amazing job today since we had some technical difficulties. And most of all, thank you for spending a little bit of your day with us. If you want to meet any of our guests or call me to anything you need, just give me a call, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember my motto, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.